All right, hey, and good morning, everybody. We're in Loris today and excited to be here. I wish Lisa'd get a little bit more excited, but we're going to go with what we got. Again, excited to be with you in the new year. We want to talk a little bit more about influencing people through people skills. And one of the people skills that I want to share with you today is one that is overlooked. Let me just ask you this question. Could anybody have benefited growing up by having somebody tell them about some things to avoid or some things that you should have done? And this is somebody that you would have listened to. Would you have benefited by that? Anybody?
Yes.
Yeah, we all would, right?
Yes.
I grew up and I missed out on some of that kind of stuff, so I had to get my degree through the School of Hard Knocks. So the mentoring thing is what I want to talk to you about. I could have benefited from a mentor, somebody who really wanted to invest in me and see me do well. I could have benefited from that. So we want to talk about that and the process of that. But here's the thing. If you're going to be a person of influence, you're going to be somebody who's leading people and be a person of influence, then you've got to be able to enlarge people. And what I mean by that is you've got to develop your ability to mentor people and then be receptive to being mentored. So when you hear the term enlarge, what comes to mind? Enlarge.
Big.
Yeah, big. What
Yeah.
else?
Potential,
Yeah, potential. I like
Yeah.
that word. Potential. Anybody else?
vision.
Yeah, vision.
Yeah.
There you go. That's a good one.
Come on, Kate.
Anything else? Yeah, first thing jumps to my mind is growing,
Yeah.
enlarging, growing. So point is, once you have been a model of integrity, if you want to be a mentor, or if you're looking for a mentor, that integrity piece is big. But once you've been a model of integrity and you've had some success, then you're probably ready for the next step, and that's trying to enlarge or take people to the next level. But listen, if you're not a person of integrity, or if you're looking for a mentor and they're not a person of integrity, scratch that, all right? If you haven't had results, or if the person you're looking to mentor you has not had results, again, scratch that. You're looking for somebody who's got integrity, somebody who's been there, done that, and been successful. Then the next idea then is to start to begin to enlarge people. Here's a Chinese proverb I want to share with you. If you want to harvest in 1 year, grow a crop. If you want to harvest in 10 years, you grow trees. But if you want a harvest that's going to last a lifetime, then you're going to grow people. All right, grow people. Because once you've got that influence with people, there's no telling where that leads ultimately and how many people are influenced and how much good that does. So here's the meaning of mentoring. The mentoring process offers people the opportunity to turn their potential, that's that word Lisa just brought up, turn their potential into reality, and really kind of their dream into their destiny, or what they ultimately begin to fulfill. So that's what mentoring helps people do. Mentors impact eternity because there's no telling where their influence will stop, like I was saying a while ago. So here's another question I want to ask you. Do you see yourself as a mentor to other people?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Everybody else is
Yes.
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 You could see yourself that way? All right, good. How about this? Do you want to be a mentor to other people?
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah. If we can, we want to. Here's what John Maxwell said. One of the greatest values of mentors is the ability to see ahead what others cannot see and to help them navigate a course to their destination. Think about that. Boy, if somebody could have gotten ahead of you in life and helped navigate you where you wanted to go, where would you be today? What would be the difference?
Yeah.
Think about where you could. Think about this. If you would have made different choices, and some of you are young, but think about it. Where would you be in life today had you made some different choices based on better information that somebody shared with you?
Mm-hmm.
Huge. Relationships, would that be huge?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a 19-year-old at home. That's huge, right? Relationships, work,
Yeah.
just in how you've developed personally. Think about those areas. So here's the thing. Enlarging others and mentoring is really an investment. It's an investment, and here's why. When you enlarge others, you're going to do several things. One is you're going to raise their level of living. Okay, when they start thinking higher, what begins to happen?
They do more.
Life changes,
Yeah.
right? Life changes when we start thinking higher. Because remember, as James Allen says, as a man thinketh,
So is he.
so he is. Absolutely, so he is. And so think about that. We increase their potential. I was coaching someone the other day, and he had this idea of who he wanted to be in 5 years. We got through talking in about 30 minutes, and he stopped and he said, hang on, you know what? He said, my whole world just changed. And I said, what do you mean? He said, man, he said, I had such a small idea who I could become. He said, but it's just like the top of my brain just blew off. He said, I just realized I can have a lot more impact. I can do a lot more. He said, why was I thinking so small? I said, I have no idea. Okay, no idea. But it's just simply somebody coming along and opening your mind to what you can do. So here's another thing that your mentoring is going to do. It's going to increase their capacity for growth. Increase their capacity for growth. Listen, if I can do this much, then why can't I do this much?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Think about it. So here's another one. It's going to increase the potential of your organization. Listen, if everybody in this office, everybody in Anderson Brothers starts thinking differently and increases their personal capacity, what does it do for your office?
Yeah.
What does it do for the bank? How much more can you do, right? It's going to translate into bigger things. So you get bigger, your company gets bigger. So what investment are you willing to make in yourself so that you can invest in others? Here's what I always tell people: you can't give away what you don't have, right? So what happens is if you're not growing, then it's going to be very difficult for you to give very much away. You're going to be very limited as to what you can give away. But if you are constantly growing, then you can do what? Constantly give away, right? When your cup's full, you can constantly fill somebody else's cup. All right, so here's the thing. When will you begin?
Right now.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah.
Good answer. Yeah, right now. There's no better time to start than now. If you don't put it in place and make it happen, then it's probably not going to happen. So extremely important that you start right now. All right, think about this. Make yourself an enlarger. Just because you want to be a mentor does not mean you're ready or even prepared to do it. You got to think about it a little bit first. Don't just jump out there and say, you know what, I'm ready to be a mentor, and grab somebody and say, I want to mentor you. That's nice of you, but make sure you're prepared and make sure it's the right person. So we want to talk about that. And here's why. John Maxwell says this: the greatest obstacle to discovery is not ignorance. It's the illusion of knowledge. We think we're ready. How many times have we done things and we thought we were ready and then went, uh-oh?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, that's a big one. So any day that passes without personal growth is an opportunity lost to improve yourself and enlarge others. So point is that we have to take advantage of every opportunity to make ourselves better. If we don't, then we tend to lag behind and not be prepared for the opportunity. So here's the thing. You got to be proactive. Carefully choose the people that you want to mentor. Carefully choose the people that you want to enlarge, because not everybody wants it. Have you ever tried to give somebody something they didn't want?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And somebody's trying to give you something you didn't want?
Mm-hmm.
It's very difficult, right? It's kind of trying to feed somebody that's food and they're not hungry.
Run into a brick wall.
Yeah, it's just not going to go well. So you want to invest your life wisely in other people. So choose who you're going to do that with. So here's some guidelines to help you with. Select somebody whose philosophy of life is similar to yours. If they're going in an entirely different direction than you are, then it's very difficult for you to connect with them. So you want to make sure that whoever you're trying to mentor, or who you might get to mentor you, kind of thinks like you do in terms of their philosophy of life. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
All right. Here's another one. Choose people with potential you genuinely believe in. Make sure, don't try to, here's what I like to tell people. Don't choose somebody that you think you can change. How's that going to work for you?
No,
It's
don't
not.
work.
Yeah, you
Never.
got to find somebody who's willing to change, who wants to change. So make sure it's somebody you believe can do that. Get somebody whose life you can positively impact, not somebody you've got to fight, right? That's just not going to work. It's somebody that you can actually impact, and they're going to allow you to do that. I got a typo here, I apologize, but match the men and women to the task that's going to stretch them. So when you're mentoring people, you don't want to talk about where they've been and what they're doing as much as where they can go. So you want to match them up with what they can do. Find out what it is that they can do really well and push them in that direction, okay? Here's the thing. Start when the time is right. Timing's everything. But once you found the right person, keep in mind that you need to keep their permission before enlarging them. Don't just start trying to mentor somebody, all right? It's got to be a two-way street. So get their permission. That's really important. Don't just pick somebody and try to start making them into something else. So here's the thing. Make sure that you understand the importance about people and their desire to be enlarged. Okay? Listen, you can't mentor somebody who's not really on board with what you're trying to do.
Yeah, 'cause it'll wear you out.
Yeah, it wears everybody out, and so it's not good. So here's the thing. So make it a priority to take them through the enlargement process. So I want to talk to you real quickly about that. And here's the thing. Enlargement mentoring takes time, it takes money, it's pure work. All right, it's not just something that's casual when you do. You're very intentional about what you do when you're trying to mentor somebody. And it's called commitment. All right, there's a price to be paid. It's called commitment. Here's some ideas and thoughts here. See their potential. Unrealized potential is a tragic waste. Think about that. The potential that people have that's wasted. How about you? Look back over the last 5 years. Has there been any potential that you've wasted in relationships,
Yeah,
personally, professionally? Anything been wasted?
always.
Absolutely, yeah, there is. And so make sure that you help them understand that. Cast a vision for their future. Again, you're never going to go higher than your thoughts. So if you're not able to raise somebody's awareness and raise their thoughts, then you've effectively created a lid for them. So that's the whole idea. Let's take the lid off and let them think bigger, and then they can do more, right? Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. All right, so here's another one. Tap into their passion. So you got to go beyond the surface and dig deeper to figure out what their passion is. A lot of people really don't know what their passion is. They've never thought about it. They are pre-programmed, and what I mean by that is they come in and just do their work and never really thought about what they really like to do. It's just a job. I mean, you've got people at your bank that come to work every day, and you know who they are, but they come to work every day, and it's a job. They're really not passionate about what they're doing. Well, if you're mentoring somebody at work, help them figure out what they're passionate about. It may be still a job here in the bank. It may just be something different, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Think about it. What is the thing you're most gifted at, and are you utilizing that today? If I were mentoring you today, that's what I'd be asking you. I'd say, what is it that you feel like you're most gifted at? What do people say that you are good at? What do you really feel good about and feel energized about when you do it? What is that? What's that thing? And it may not be what you're even doing now, right? It could be something different. Think about in my case. As a banker, my primary function was as a commercial loan officer, right? That was my primary function. But credit underwriting was something I did, but I wasn't really passionate about it. So what should I have been doing?
What you were passionate about.
Yeah, so what was I passionate about? What am I doing today?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Training,
yeah,
leadership,
training, leadership, speaking, right? Communicating. That's what I'm passionate about. So my question is, what could I have done in the bank to utilize what I was passionate about doing?
Quit.
No, I could do something else in the bank,
Yeah,
right? There's
yeah,
another
yeah.
opportunity in a bank somewhere for me to utilize what I'm really passionate about doing. So the point is that I could have done something else and been much more effective for the bank and helped the bank move along at a much different level than what I was doing. Even though I was good at what I was doing, I could have been better when I was passionate about doing it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Listen, if you just make a cake because you're just making a cake and you make one every now and then, does that mean you're really good at it?
No.
Yeah, but if you love making cakes, I mean, you absolutely just can't wait to get in the kitchen and whip one up, and you do it every chance you get. How good are you at it?
Good.
Absolutely. People will probably pay you for that cake, right? I mean, it's just the way it works. All right, so here's another one. You got to address character flaws, because you know what? We all have them.
Yeah.
This means yes.
Yes.
Okay, everybody, yeah, we all have character flaws. We're not perfect. We have character flaws. So listen, as a mentor, you need to address those, because it's hard to be that person of integrity and grow if I've got character flaws. So one of the first things we got to do is be real with people when we're mentoring them about what the issues are. Listen, if you're mentoring somebody in the bank, you guys work together. Y'all know what each other's flaws are. You know what kind of things are stumbling blocks to you. But if you're going to mentor people, you got to address that. Because one of the first things that you got to do to move forward is you got to take care of the stuff that's holding you back, right?
Yeah.
You gotta kind of cut the ropes that are tying you down, and character is a big part of that. So make sure you address character flaws with them. And then here's another one: focus on their strength. I kind of got ahead of myself there a little bit, but sharpen those skills that already exist. Listen, if you're doing something and you're good at it, get better at it. How can you get better at it? I mean, you always can. And so make sure you are pushing forward to get better with what you're already strong on. So here's the thing: enlarge one step at a time. You can't work on every aspect of a person's life all at the same time. The shotgun approach doesn't work. It's the rifle approach. So what I do a lot of times in coaching is I'll take at at most three things in a person's life, but usually I focus in on one. And listen, if we get this one going in the right direction, this area of your life going in the right direction, then maybe at that point we'll go to the second thing. But you can't fix everything all at the same time, right? You can't. Even general contractors don't do it all. They have subs come in and do certain things, right? Here's the thing: we've got to work on one thing at a time. So here's 4 areas that are in the development process. One is attitude. Everybody can improve on their attitude. It can get better, and so it is going to determine how successful you are. Poor attitude, you're just not going to be successful. A really good attitude, chances are you're probably going to be successful. And they got to have the right attitude in the mentorship process. If it's something that they want, yes. If it's something they don't really care about, no. All right? That's just one of the criteria you got to look at. All right, relationships. You got to get along with people. People got to know that you care about them. They've got to know that you want success for them, that you're looking out for their best interest, and that's going to make a big difference. And here's the big one: leadership. Everything rises and falls on leadership. So when you're mentoring people, you got to focus on that ability to influence through leadership. And that's got to be an area of concern that you got to have. And then here's another one: personal and professional skills. Work from the inside out. You can put that window dressing on them all day long, but ultimately what's on the inside is going to come out, right?
Oh, yeah.
So the point is, when you're mentoring, man, work on the inside. Work on the way they think. Work on who they are. Work on the way that they perceive the world. Make sure that they're positive on the inside, and that's going to ultimately come out. And here's the thing: put some stuff in their hands. I had a guy come, and listen, this is just a little thing, but I had a guy come clean some carpet at my office, and he was talking to me, and young guy from New York, and he'd only been down here a couple of years. He's talking to me, and I could tell he was very, very positive. He was very interested in what I did and carrying on conversations with me, and very personable. And he got ready to leave, and I said, "Hey, man," I said, "how can I add value to you today? I know we've only spent a few minutes together." I said, "But I really want to do something for you. What can I do?" And he said, "Well, I just appreciate being able to talk to you." So I reach over and grab a book, and I said, "Listen, you said you were a reader." I said, "I got something for you. You said you've never heard of this author. Here's a book that he's written," and gave it to him. I couldn't give that guy $1,000 and made him any happier. I mean, he was absolutely ecstatic. And so the point is, we've got to add value, and we can just do that by sometimes something very simple. A book, or what list? I got a list on here: a book, CDs, magazines, articles, anything. Just put something instructional in their hands. Listen, if they really want to grow and really want to be mentored, then anything you give them, they're going to consume. All right? And as they consume it, what happens? Positive goes in, what comes out? Yeah, the more positive stuff you can put into their life, the more positive things that are going to come out. So do that. Expose them to things to enlarge them. Tell them about conferences. Tell them about seminars, workshops, retreats, classes, webinars, whatever that is. But teach them to be self-enlargers. And here's what I mean by that, is that they have to break all those limiting beliefs that they have. All right? Think about it. It would be real easy for an office, and since you guys just hit your numbers, some of you have had some pretty lofty numbers to try to hit. 5 years ago, did everybody in the office believe you could hit the number?
No.
Absolutely. I think if you went to every office in the bank and said, 5 years ago, could you hit this number that you hit this year?
Yeah.
Everybody would have probably said, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, right? But here we are.
Yep.
So listen, what if right now somebody said, double your number? When can you double your number? What would you say? I don't know about that, right? Double your number. So when could you do
Say,
it?
Bree, let's go.
Yeah, when could you do it? Hey, I can do that in 5 years. We'll do it in 5 years.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So why not?
The vision.
Yeah, why not? And then cast it and say, how can I get there?
Amen.
So the point is that you want to instill in people that mindset of enlargement. I can do more. We can do more. We can stretch, right? We can do more than we think we can do. But the thing is, we got to change our thinking.
Yep.
Yeah, instead of saying, how can we do it, say, why can't we do it? Right? And then say, how can we do it?
Yep.
Right? It makes a huge difference. All right. John Maxwell says this: no one becomes rich unless he enriches another. The real value in life is adding value to other people. And when you can help other people get what they want, then they're going to help you get what you want. Listen, I put a little application on the back here for you. Pick somebody out. I don't have time to go through this, but pick a couple of people out. I've got 3 on here. Put some names on this and try to add value to people. And let me just tell you this, it will be incredibly satisfying when you see that you have made a difference in their life. And so I want to thank you for allowing me to be with you today. Brent, cut me off here. All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it so much. Find somebody to mentor.
Can we put the same person's name on each line for the group?
If you want to make triple the effort, yes, you
Yeah,
can. Yes,
see,
you
that's
can.